Hey guys, quickly want to give you my Robinhood app update. It is Friday the 9th. This is my current account value. It's been about 2 months. I don't know how much gains I've made, to be honest with you. Most of this is me putting money into my account. But I'm sure I definitely collected a lot of premiums, but obviously not a huge amount, but hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. But just give you an update. Close up business here on Friday, so all our covered calls and all that are over for this week. And update on what I did with my short stock I had there on the Nasdaq, I believe it was. Real quick here, I'll go back up here to my covered calls in a second. Ford. 200 shares, two positions. 950 was my covered call price. It did not hit that. It was around that a few times today, but it landed below there. And it looks like I will be able to keep my Ford stocks for another week. I'll probably try to sell another covered call on that this week if I could. If it's not going backwards, if it's going backwards, it's kind of hard to sell a covered call. People usually don't want to buy an option of something that's going down. NOI also did not hit the covered call, and so I will probably sell another covered call, and that should have a dividend coming pretty soon for that as well. So, and I've owned that off and on here for the last few months, and it's it was up 7 cents this week. Kind of give you an idea there. This one I have a covered call on at $5. It ends next week. It was up 3 cents this week. Catalyst Pharmaceuticals. I probably will not purchase this again. It was just paying really well. Probably because paste. So you can just see here. It's got such huge gaps in the option price. $5 to $7.50, and it's a $5 stock. I mean, how often is it going to get up to $7.50? Obviously, that's quite a huge move in a 30-day period. But it does pay 10% of the $5 mark. You see 55 cents there. So maybe I'll do that. If it doesn't hit the covered call price, maybe I'll just sell it again and get the $55 and just hold it for a month. And that's 10% right there. I mean, you think about it, man, that over a year you can pay for your stock by selling the covered calls a lot of times. I mean, you could get burned, believe me. I'll give you examples here in a second. Definitely could get burned, but for a $5 stock, it could go down to $1, I guess. But if you sell enough covered calls over 4 or 5 months, you're pretty much going to cover up all your losses. Let's see here. In NYT, I still have this, obviously, 100 positions. It has a covered call on it that expires next week, and it's a small amount of covered calls, so it's not a lot of money. But I believe this is a monthly dividend stock, but I'm not positive. ET. I bought actually another 100 shares of ET this week, just recently, actually today. And I lowered my average cost from $15 down to $14.50. I do have a covered call on both of them, I believe. I think both expire next week. And we'll see what happens. It's at $14, so I could definitely get my stocks assigned. If so, I might. I know I have a $30 dividend coming on there for the first 100 this next week. So I might purchase this back, depending on what it kind of does. It's definitely something in my realm of stocks that I'm looking to purchase back if I do sell them or they do get assigned. Fiat Chrysler. I have 200 shares. This has a $13.50 covered call, I believe, on it. It expires next week. I have a $13.01 average cost, and I am probably going to buy it back if it does get assigned. I don't think it will move that far though. $13.50 is quite a bit, so most likely I'll be able to issue another covered call on this next week. This is a new one. I picked up PG&E today. It was kind of this is kind of a really iffy stock. Um, the reason is just because there's so much going on with this power company. They did have a $95 covered call for a 1 week period, so it expires next week. And as soon as I bought it, actually, it shot up from just over $18 to $18.62. So hopefully I am. You can see that it's up 89 cents today, 79 cents today. So hopefully I'm okay on this for the week. And hopefully I get through Friday before this drops back down. And this seems to have a lot of premiums, so it's something I probably will look to purchase again. I don't know if I want to be a long-term holder of PG&E, not knowing what's going to happen with all the bankruptcy and all that, because this is the stock that started that fire in California, basically, or the company, I should say. You can see it pays a really good premium. New residential investment. I still own this. I haven't been able to sell a cover call on this just because it seems to be going backwards. I think is the biggest. Or you could probably sell them for a few pennies. I just don't bother. I'm waiting to get a decent amount for it, because if it does recover and I sell for a few pennies, then I can't resell it, obviously. So I'm still holding these 100 shares. Hopefully I'll collect a dividend on this pretty soon. I believe it's a monthly dividend. It was a REIT. Whitestone, I've owned this a few times. I just have one share. Probably looking to, you can see here on my, it's a monthly trader. So, I just, $20 for, to lock up $1,200 for a month doesn't seem quite enough to me. But I might try to sell it right here. Let's see if I could, oh, it's WSR. I'm sorry. I thought I was looking at, and I only have one share of that. I can't sell cover call on that. Okay, that's a Whitestone. This one I'm looking at possibly. I just have one share. I bought it at $16.39 this week. It's a super dividend fund. It pays a 10% dividend, well, according to Robinhood, which is always off. But let's see see, it's got a $17. See, if they had 50-cent gaps rather than dollar gaps, it'd be a lot easier to sell these cover calls. Sometimes I sell, if it's really close to that number and not a stock I'm looking to hold, I will sell into the money a little bit if I can get a lot more for it. So, but it's basically, if it was like 1601 and it paid like $85 to sell into the money, or something like that for $16, I would sell into the money for a big difference. I just really like to take the money, because the stock most likely, I'm not married to it. If I have to get it assigned to somebody else, then I can always rebuy it or whatever. But then again, I've been burned several times by doing that as well. So, and we'll see how it works. But that's SDIV. Cleveland Cliffs. I just bought one stock with this. This stock just seems to be just plummeting. So I'm not sure I want to be holding it. Let's see, what was it down today again today? And it was down quite a bit, and then after hours it was down. For the week it's down 73 cents. So I don't think I'm gonna. I'll probably trade out of this. I just have one stock. I paid for $8.74 for it. You can see it dropped 30 cents today since I bought it. Crazy. I don't think that's a stock that's for me. But these are what I have right now. I have the 200 shares of Ford, 100 shares of NLY, 100 shares of that pharmacy stock. It's right at the cover call price. Hopefully it'll hit that and get it signed. If not, I will resell that again and collect a premium on that, hopefully around $50. It's pretty good for a $5 stock, so I'll probably rebuy that back if it does sell. NYMT, obviously I'm holding, and that's not going to hit. ET, it's got a $14, I believe a $14 covered call. And then we got Fiat Chrysler, I got 200 shares. PGE, I have 100 shares. NRZ, I have 100 shares, and all the rest, other three, I have 100 shares. So these are what I have left on my covered calls. I'll be selling some next week, the ones that didn't hit. There's the pharmaceutical company, $5, and that's the value of it right now. For you to buy that or sell that today, that position or that option would be $20, 20 cents a share. NYMT, you can see it's at $5, and that's again closing next week. PCG, again, I got $95 for that position. That's closing, so it was only a week, so that was I thought it was a pretty short turnaround. ET, I bought 100 shares of that today, and that closes next week as well. And then Ford, my bad, Fiat Chrysler. And the last one is this stock. Real quick story here. This is the one I shorted. Okay, and I bought it for $34. And it shot up to 42. I sold an option on it around $34. And that was stupid. I mean, if I was going to short the stock, that was one thing. But you want to be able to move in and out of there. If you're going to short something, I mean, come on, this is the United States of America, man. Our stock market goes up more than it goes down. And, and so it shot to 42. And of course, I was holding the short, feeling really good about myself, collecting my $275. And it started going backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards. So it got to the point where I had about $100 left of premium in it. I bought back the option for $75, and it left me $25. And I quickly sold the stock. It left me $25 basically is what I made off all that mess, where I had $275. If I just would have left it alone, but I didn't. You just don't know. It gets down to 31. Is it going to 29? There's another $200. Is it going to 28? There's $300. You start dropping lower and lower and lower and lower. Then you're down $500. For the stock, and so it went down to $31, but it bounced back up and it's at $32.40. If I would have just let it expire, I would have made about 100 and so it got about 140. Let me see here. $160 off of. I would have made about $110, but you never know. So I just wanted to get out of it. It was dropping like a rock, and today it bounced back. As you can see, it was down. It was down early, and see, even for the week, this is down. I bought it on Monday. This is the short stock, but I definitely will short again if the stock market's going backwards like that, and this is a good stock to do it with. But I will not sell an option. I want to be able to get out of that short ASAP as soon as it starts going backwards, and I want to be able to sell. And if I would have done that, I could have made $800 on this. Is at the top of it, the 100 shares, it went up 8 points. That's $800. And of course I'm stupid. Paid a lot of stupid tax today, or yesterday that was. And so that's what happened with this VIX stock that I had. And I'm going to be a lot more careful. I'm not going to sell an option on a short again. That's for sure. It was just dumb. But I like to pay a lot of stupid tax. Hopefully I'll get lucky enough to where I will continue to make. These are just stocks I'm watching. Continue to make money, and so that's it for now. Again, it's Friday, and then I'll probably update you on Monday on what stocks I bought with my money, and I still have some money. I think I have about $1,500 or $1,300 roughly to invest, and what options I sold and what I sold them for. All right, thank you so much.